Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kara here with another Exos Heroes video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how I hit rank 1 and then in the Holy Dragon Grounds. So I ended up hitting rank 1 with only 4 characters because of FC Brook and how she's such a specific character for the Holy Dragon Grounds. I thought it'd be a fun challenge. I just said for myself, like a few hours ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to see if I could hit rank 1 with her. And then it took a few attempts, was able to do it. So this is like, rank 1 for today. This is today's best record for Monday, which is a fire day. Figured it was a perfect time to try out, FC Brook, see exactly how good she is. Plus, she's a fire character, so can actually go for the record here today. We were able to hit it. I really like the Holy Dragon Grounds. For me, it's one of the funnest parts, if not the funnest part of PvE content in this game for me. So I like doing little challenges like this just for fun. I decided to do this. Not really trying to use this as a bragging thing, just kind of more of a showcase. Plus, I figure if I just go over my thought process, maybe it'll help you guys when it comes to the Holy Dragon. Maybe you could take a couple tips, whatever, and then apply that to your runs. Maybe there's really no point in going for rank 1, but you could at least apply it to, I think a big deal is hitting the end of phase 3, which is 314,000. Hitting that is really important, and maybe some of these tips and tricks can apply to that. So that's going to be mainly what this video is about. With that, let's talk about the 4 characters I used. And the 4 characters here are going to be, and at the end you'll see it. I'll actually show the run. I made sure to record the run, so you'll actually be able to see it. But I'm going to talk about the characters, talk about the gear, what range you can expect them to be. So they're not too crazy. First one. Okay, so the first character and the main highlight of this video is going to be FC Brook. The main thing I use with her is going to be machine set. And as you can see here, she's not a full machine set. That was a mistake on my part. I just moved all my machine stuff from Rudely, and then she only has the red thing. I wasn't going to spin Zest for it. As you can see, I'm super broke on Zest. So I was like, screw it. Let's just try it anyway with only 5 pieces instead of a 6 piece. Doesn't really matter anyway, because the only time you really want the machine set is going to be at the very end on phase 4. And then you're only really going to get 1 or 2 attempts anyway. So having a 4 piece, even having just the 2 piece is going to be fun too. You'll see that with Rachel. So the big reason why you use machine set in the Holy Dragon is it doesn't really matter for phase 1, 2, and 3, but for phase 4, when it's just as much damage as possible and then you die in phase 4, he does his dragon roar or whatever will stun all your units. So if you don't have a machine set on, then, or if you don't have a machine set on like Iris, for example, and then could cleanse it, that's really one of the main characters because it's a status effect. It's like a shock. So you need someone that can remove all status effects. Like healers won't be able to remove it. So that's why I just put them in machine sets and then I don't even have to bother with it. It's just, these are going to be the characters I want to do damage. So then I put them in machine, they cleanse it themselves and then could keep going. That's kind of the logic I have whenever I'm trying to do big damage on phase 4. But that's pretty much it for this. Nothing too crazy when it comes to gear, only level 82, obviously going to be 6-star. I do have refused, not too many moves on her. But the main thing is that they really changed is one thing, because I just made another video on FC Brook. I'll be sure to leave a card on it, but I was talking about how Dorka is really good to pair with her because of her new passive, which you should just check out that video if you don't understand the new FC Brook. I was saying her new passive where she assists is really good with Dorka, but and I didn't really give many other options, like maybe another buff with like Yao or something like that, or like let's say you take one of the summer characters and you get the attack buffs and you maybe do it, but she actually pairs really well with the first Guardian characters once their shield goes up. So once you actually get the shield up, then she'll start, that counts as her passive. So she could just constantly do her assist once the shield's up. And then it only takes like 1 or 2 turns for the dragon to go. Everyone gets the shield. And then she's going to be using her passive pretty much the entire rest of the encounter. So really good pairing there. And it makes me a lot more excited to use her. I think because I'm using her in a team of 4, I want to say you're going to need to make sure she is one of the top 4 attack characters in your roster for that to actually work. In my situation, I didn't really have to test that because I only had 4 characters. So of course you're going to get all the first Guardian, passives on all 4 of them. But if I had, like let's say a lot more characters, like if I did the full 10 or whatever, then I would have to make sure she's going to be top 4 attack. I think that actually matters, but I did not test it. So she's going to be doing a ton of damage through assisting and then also breaking a ton of stones. If I actually got her to level 90 and then did the elemental enhance, it would be a massive benefit to more damage. But I didn't really want to bother. I just wanted to mainly use this move here, which is a 750% damage burst move. Plus, I have the signature force. That's going to be the main reason why she does so much damage, is because if you have signature force with North Von Frosty, then it's going to gain that damage as well. And we could talk about that. I figured this would be a good time to talk about signature force, and to do another video on it specifically soon. I just got it today. This is another showcase to just how much extra damage you can actually get, because you're going to be doing, it's 4,900 damage per 1 mana, and then it goes up, and it does less damage with AoE, but she's a single target character, so you're going to be getting like full value. And then it's not only is it a burst move, so the more mana you have, it's going to do more damage than the 750%, but the more mana with signature force is going to do even more damage. She's still a really good character without signature force. Signature force is, in my opinion, one of the most toxic upgrades possible in the game. But if you do have it, or if you were curious on how it works, you could at least get an idea what it could do. I just want to have that disclaimer there. But that's another reason why I wanted to use her, is because not only is she having one of the, if not the highest damage move single target, but she also has the signature force, which is hilarious. And she's good. She does crazy damage. Like I had like 120k crit in one run, which is stupid. So, all right. So now that we got her out of the way, next character is Rachel. Fire Day, kind of self-explanatory. Not my best gear on him. Mainly I was just going for, I just wanted a machine set. So he's going to actually do his moves when the time comes for phase 4. One thing I didn't mention about Brook, though, that I thought was really cool, is she's, because of her passive, she's going to be getting so much mana on her own. So she's always going to be doing her either her A1 or A2 whenever the time comes, because it's always going to alternate. Even if she has like more mana, she's going to do the A1 and then do the A2. That's the order that she always does it regardless. Doesn't matter. But she's going to stack up a ton of mana each time, because of how the passive works is every time she assists, she just gives herself 1 mana. I made sure Rachel had Annie's passive, because he doesn't gain mana nearly as much as she is. So she's going to be able to take care of herself mana wise, whereas Rachel will get the extra benefit of Annie's passive of getting the 3 mana every time he goes. And then you only have 4 characters, so he's going to be going a ton and getting a ton of mana that way. So when he actually bursts, he does a ton of damage too, because he has a 525% burst, and then has a 350% on his A1. And he's going to alternate just like Brook is. And then lastly, we have Annie here, self-explanatory, really good passive, does a lot of damage because of not only the mana utilization, which is taking advantage of other characters' mana on the team and converting that to damage, and then also she has a burst move on her A2 here. So does a ton of damage. These characters, it's going to be very consistent that they're going to have a lot of mana. You're going to really take full advantage of the mana utilization. Same with Magi here. She's going to round out the team. Main reason why we bring her is because she's one of the, by far the best characters for Dragon. I pretty much bring her every single day. You could probably take her. I even bring her on Friday, Saturday, because she has the Dragonite Blessing and the Head Dragonite. So having both of those definitely is going to be useful for just the normal days. And then when it becomes the Chaos Day, yes, you're not getting the advantage of the Dragonite Blessing, but the Head Dragonite is just it's pretty rare. So having a character ready to go for a Head Dragonite is just nice. So she overall, one of my favorite characters for Dragon, but definitely going to bring her because it's Fire Day. All the reasons listed above, and she actually does pretty good damage, because even though this move looks like it has a very low percentage modifier, it being a 3 mana burst means you can stack up more mana. It's going to take advantage of the burst more, and she has mana utilization, so she's going to hit a lot harder than she looks. A very good character for the Dragon here, and that's going to round out the team of 4 for our trying to shoot for rank 1. These characters, ideally, if I really wanted to min-max it, obviously I would have better gear on them. I would have like full 6 sets. I would have her in Machine. I would have, everyone in Machine as possible. I would have, a rank, one of these pieces here, go for the 2-piece here on Machine if I wanted to go even further. So then all 4 of them have Machine. She would definitely be in a 6-set Machine, or maybe even potentially Awaken her. And then go for just a 2-piece on the Machine. There's a lot of ways for this to actually get better. As you can see from all the gear here, this is level 40. You could probably even Awaken him and then go for the Machine set. Probably keep her. I mean, you probably awaken her and get significant. You'd definitely be a lot tankier, could potentially survive a phase 4 more. So there's a lot of room to grow with this team, but still was enough just due to the combination of just how much burst she has, plus signature force. You're gonna see a lot of crazy numbers there. So that's how it was possible to still hit rank 1. But I can see the numbers, like I already seeing just how much more potential if I really wanted to go further, maybe go well beyond 450,000. So now that I've kind of explained it, now you kind of get an idea what I was thinking when I was building this team, and then let's actually check it out, and then I can kind of talk about how it goes in real time, so you can kind of see what I was talking about. Here's the run right before the actual rank 1, but there's one part of it that I wanted to show just because I thought it was crazy. Okay, let me just get it out of the way. So here's what happens. So phase 2 ends. And then transition, we go up a little bit in damage. And then I just want you to see this crit. Okay, so so she assists 118 K, and then she goes, look at this crit. Boom, 240. Jesus. She went nuts. It went from literally, we finished phase 3 on this run from just that little bit. It went from 118. She goes one time. It goes up from 118 to 246, and then hits again. I want to say that was this was her crit. So she crit for 120K, and then the signature force goes through for 43K, and then Magi goes and does 30K, and then instantly, like, it's probably one of the quickest phase 2 to phase 3. I want to say that's like the quickest, unless there's a character that can one shot from that to 314. I literally don't think it could be any quicker than just 2 moves. So I thought that was really cool. We don't end up getting rank. It would be way cooler if this was also the run that was the 457,000, but didn't work out. I just thought that was cool. I just want to show that off. Okay, and then now, because what did we get to on this run? Yeah, we get to 372,000 in this run and then die. I don't think I had a machine set on Rachel yet, and then that's what I think that was the big change. So then here's the main run. I figured I would just kind of talk through as this happens. So as you'll notice, she doesn't actually assist until we get to now the shield. See, notice how the shield's on. They made a improvement on the visuals, so you can actually see the shield. But that's when once that's on there, then she'll actually start assisting. So then, as you'll see, boom, there's her assist, and it really helps with breaking stones. Doesn't do much damage. You'll see it consistently hits for about 3,000, and then in phase 2 it's going to hit for far less. But you'll at least be able to break stones. It's going to help other people, do more damage, or help herself do more damage when the time comes. And it's stacking mana every time. If you watch it, she'll stack a mana. So it definitely has its uses, even though it doesn't look like it's doing much. Also, the big thing too about doing damage in this is it's more about any way you can get extra damage through turns, like through the First Guardian passive, or through Brook constantly autoing. It's not taking up turns, which is really good for the dragon, because you only get a finite amount of turns before the dragon does way too much damage, and you're just going to die regardless of how much gear you have. So it's definitely a DPS race, especially at this part after phase 2. This is going to be the part where you want to do as much damage as possible in the quickest amount of time, because survivability just doesn't matter at a certain point in phase 3, because I was checking if I was actually recording. Phase 3 eventually gets to the point where you can have the best gear in the game. It doesn't matter, you're going to die. Finding characters like Brook or like First Guardian characters, that's what makes them so good for the dragon, is because they still do extra damage per turn without costing an entire turn. So then we got Annie here. We're going to get to the point where we're actually in phase 4 here soon. You can see the benefits of having Annie on here, giving him as much mana as possible. So he's always at least doing a move. And then here's another crit. So that was blocked. It did okay damage for a block, but blocks are always, it feels bad. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get it to the point where when we finish this, she has her A3 ready to go. Like her final, because if she does her the smaller hitting move and then it switches over to 314, That's where exactly where we want to be. Ideally, you would have Rachel have this move saved up, and also Brook would have her move saved up too. And then you combine both of them to do as much damage as possible right off the start of phase 4. And so this is not something you want to see. See how she's doing that move at the very end. And so now it's phase 4 now. Ideally, you would want her to be doing the other move, and then she will have her main move later. Or maybe I'm confusing it. Hold on. Maybe I'm mixing it up. She has a double team. Both of her moves look so dramatic. I always mix up which one's which. So that, so this is her big move. This is the move that actually does damage. So this is exactly where you want it. Crits really well. The signature force hit really hard too. And then now we're just doing countering plus tag teaming. He goes down, and it's mainly just gonna be all Brook here. So this is her like less hard hitting move. Didn't crit. This is not gonna crit either, I don't think. Yep. And then now we got a good opportunity here. This is perfect. Broken, and then is able to do her best move there. Luckily, she doesn't die. That's where her passive ends. Then a lucky block comes through. And then now she does this move here to finally get that last crit to put it over the edge for the rank 1. But I just thought that was kind of cool so you can see it really, that was a pretty unfortunate phase 4. Rachel didn't get really any moves off, just died instantly. It was purely all up to Brook to carry that part of the phase, and she was able to do 140k, almost like 130k by herself. So definitely easily one of the best characters for Dragon. That's not even where she's going to mainly shine. This is not the day that she's going to shine the most. I think she's going to do even better on Friday, Saturday, because she's going to do more damage in phase 2, which doesn't really matter. But in phase 4, she's the passive where she reduces the effectiveness of the phase 4 version of the dragon will actually kick in on Friday and Saturday, whereas she doesn't have that part. That whole part of her passive is not being used. So I'm looking forward to actually trying her out there. So with that being said, I look forward to actually being able to try her out on Friday, Saturday, even though she's obviously really good for the dragon. Gonna, if anything, help you get through just to get through phase 3. Who cares? You mean about hitting like the highest numbers, or you can even see from the difference between just hitting 314 and just dying versus hitting literally rank 1. The amount of drops you get for fated weapons is really not that big of a deal. So it's just kind of like more of a fun challenge, and kind of cool to see that this character is just so good at hitting high numbers. All right, guys. Well, that should do it for this video. If you have any questions on the Dragon, FC Brook, anything in particular that you think I missed when it comes to this, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And with that, you guys have a good one. Peace.